All right, today we are diving into a really critical HR function that, if you get it wrong, can turn into one of the biggest financial headaches a business can face. Seriously. So let's get right into it. So let me just kick things off with a question for you. What's a totally routine HR task that carries a potential fine of $100 per day for just one little mistake? Any guesses? The answer is COBRA administration. We're going to break down exactly why this federal law is such a minefield of risk and, more importantly, how you can navigate it without getting blown up. Okay, so first things first, what in the world is COBRA? Let's just cover the absolute basics. So, COBRA, and you don't need to remember the long name, is basically a federal rule for any business with 20 or more employees. It says you have to offer a temporary extension of your health insurance to people who lose their coverage because of something called a qualifying event. And here's what's so important to get. These qualifying events are really broad. I mean, it's not just when an employee gets terminated. It can be a simple reduction in their work hours, a divorce, or even a dependent child aging out of the plan. All of those things can trigger COBRA. And here is the real takeaway. For employees, COBRA is this absolutely vital safety net. But for you, the employer, trying to manage it is like walking through a minefield. It's just loaded with risk. Let's talk about that risk for a second, because the numbers here are pretty staggering. The financial penalties for what seem like tiny mistakes can be, well, severe. For starters, the IRS can hit you with a fine of $100 a day. But get this, it's per affected individual. So if one mistake affects a family of 4, that's not $100 a day. Nope, that's $400 a day. Every single day. And it doesn't stop there. On top of the IRS fine, the Department of Labor can tack on its own penalty, up to $110 a day for not sending out the right notices. You can see how quickly these fines just stack up and become a huge financial threat. But here's the part that's truly terrifying. For that IRS penalty, there's no maximum cap, no ceiling. A small, simple mistake that goes unnoticed can literally balloon into a catastrophic business-ending cost. And the danger isn't just from the government. If you mess up, you're also opening yourself up to lawsuits. A former employee can sue you to cover all of their medical bills, and you could even end up paying for their lawyer's fees too. It's a double whammy. Okay. So beyond the insane fines, the other major risk factor is time itself. COBRA compliance is just a relentless race against these super strict, totally unforgiving deadlines. The second a qualifying event happens, bam, the clock starts ticking. You, the employer, have just 30 days to tell your plan administrator. Then the administrator has only 14 days to get the official notice into the hands of the beneficiary. The reason it's so strict is to make sure people don't have dangerous gaps in their health coverage. And let me be absolutely clear about this. There's no grace period, no wiggle room. If you miss those first deadlines by even one day, you can trigger all of those massive penalties we just talked about. The system demands perfection. So, with these crushing fines and impossible deadlines, you're probably thinking, how on earth can my business possibly manage this and get rid of all that risk? Well, the solution, really, is to transfer that entire burden onto someone else. A dedicated, expert, third-party administrator. I mean, just look at the difference. When you try to do this in-house, you own all the risk, all the complicated manual tracking, and all the legal liability. It's all on you. But when you outsource to an expert, that responsibility is transferred. The tracking is automated, the administrative headache is gone, and your business is protected. It's just a night and day difference. So, what does one of these expert administrators actually do? Let's take a quick look at the kind of end-to-end system they put in place for you. The whole idea is to make it seamless. It all starts by hooking into your HR and payroll systems, which automates the tracking. And from that point on, they handle literally everything, creating and sending all the right notices, collecting the premiums, and managing the whole process from start to finish. And they're also managing all the little details that are so easy to miss, like getting documented proof that a notice was actually delivered, or tracking those really complex coverage timelines, and even dealing with those tricky state-specific mini COBRA laws. It's basically a complete compliance shield for your business. So the end result is a win-win. You got a fully compliant process that protects your business from massive financial and legal risk, and at the same time, your former employees get clear professional support during what's probably a really stressful time in their lives. You work really hard to make sure your employees are covered with great health insurance, right? So the question I want to leave you with is this: who is covering your business? Is it really protected?